I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen this though. It's 1 month Bitcoin mining journey. And this is by Biaheza. I don't even know who this guy is, but this video is pretty big. Let's go ahead and check out this guy's GPU mining adventure. Let's do a reaction video. It's a 1 month Bitcoin mining journey. And this is by Biaheza.
A few weeks ago, I made a video where I tried mining Bitcoin for a week and was truthfully just absolutely mind blown and very much so intrigued by the potential of this business. Well, now in this video, we're going to go over a few things I missed in the previous video, where I'm at a month later. We're going to talk about me buying tens of thousands of dollars of the wrong kind of equipment, Bitcoin price dropping by like half after I already bought the wrong equipment, and so much more. Okay, quick recap. I built up this nasty mining rig a few weeks ago, costing me a total of $15,774. At that point, the price of Bitcoin was dancing, just having a good time in the $56,000, $57,000 range. So under those conditions, in the video, I said the rig was making around $60 to $85 per day.
So his first rig, he spent $15,774 and he was only making $81 a day. And this was when Bitcoin was at 57,000. All right.
And would pay itself off in around 200 days. That's where we left off in the last video, but after some more
that's a terrible ROI time.
And overcooking of the GPUs, I saw the rig hit numbers as high as $189 per day. I mean, life was good.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Ordered parts to completely build a second and more powerful rig. I figured this was it. We're making it out of the hood. Me and Drizzy were
drinking espresso.
Here I was doing my part to decentralize the Bitcoin network. I was the king to replace Satoshi, the glue holding the Bitcoin ship afloat. I even called Susan, put in my 2-week notice. But shortly after uploading the video, a few cracks started emerging in my master plan. And so on my way to the Lambo dealership, I'm replying and reading through comments on the video and start to realize that the NVIDIA 3090 GPUs I bought for the rig weren't ideal for mining. The graphic cards, aka GPUs, are the most expensive part of the build and are what's responsible for the mining. And here you guys are in the comments saying that the type of GPUs I got are really not the most cost efficient for mining. They're loud, they're hot. People usually don't recommend them for mining purposes. I had to make sure I wasn't being trolled, so I checked it.
This is what happens when you just go on the internet, do zero research, and just spend all your money. You will get like the 3090s and then realize that it was a bad buy. So don't be like this guy. Do more research.
In with one of the Bitcoin founders, Richard, and sure enough, he said the same thing. I should have been buying 3080s, maybe even 3070s, which are a lot more cost efficient. Thing is though, I really wish I knew that before I ordered. Yo, what? Can't hear you. Speak up. Speak up. Can't hear you. What was that? What are you saying?
Damn. Damn.
2 of these boxes are
from
all
the previous video.
I bought 6 total new 3090 GPUs, but this isn't the end of the world. Although these aren't ideal for mining, they get hot and they hum pretty loud. At the end of the day, they are very powerful GPUs. So 6 of these monsters on one rig. Who knows how much it's going to be making per day. All the parts for this new rig that we're going to be building have now come in, so we are going to find out. But the even more pressing issue here is the price of Bitcoin. In the last video I mentioned, the big risk is the price of Bitcoin. If it falls 50%, I'm going to be making half the amount in US dollars. And what do you know? After I upload the video, the price of Bitcoin goes from like 57,000 to around 30,000, almost a 50% drop.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes, like, late nights, I just cry.
It's not.
He got in right at the hype. Right at the hype, that's when he started. Which isn't bad, but kind of the worst time to buy.
Pretty. I'm still long Bitcoin, my actual Bitcoin and Ethereum holdings. I'm not selling because almost the full amount is unrealized gain. So if I do sell, I'm gonna have to hand over half of it to Mr. Government, which honestly at this point, I'd rather watch my Bitcoin position go down to 0 than sell it, pay half that money in taxes, and then watch inflation eat up the rest of it as they keep printing more money. The current tax system kind of forced the diamond hands mindset on me, and I really do just believe in Bitcoin.
He set them diamond hands. Let's go. At least he knows diamond hands. Hopefully he sticks by his word.
Long term, so I'm not selling. But what does this new price of the magic orange internet coin mean for our mining operation? Well, I saw the profitability of the mine dip as low as I think around $29 per day, at which point it would take like 500 days for this machine to pay itself off, which kind of hurt. That's definitely not as vibey as having it pay itself off in like a few months, but I did.
Damn, that's terrible. 500 days? That's like the worst break even. I mean, I guess it's not too bad because he did buy 3090s, but still, that's a long time.
some more thinking, and you know what, even then, imagine an investment that can give you 100% returns in under 2 years. That's insane. 50% returns per year, and when I think about it like that, I really don't feel as bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, it should be okay. I'm not too worried about it, really.
No, it was making around $29 per day at its lowest. Currently it's around $45 per day, so just under a year for it to pay off at this price, which honestly sounds fine to me, and who knows where the price.
The thing is, he's saying it's not bad, it's 2 years, but it's 2 years now. He's calculating wrong. He's calculating 2 years in the bull market. It should be 2 years break even when you're in the bear market. So right now you want to be break even less than a year, less than 6 months. The problem is he thinks it's 2 years break even, but he's forgetting about difficulty EIP 1559 and F2.0. So it's not going to be really 2 years. It could be longer. It could be less. We don't know. The price of Ethereum could moon again.
So Bitcoin is going to go in a few months.
Or time will tell. We don't watch time. We timeless.
I even got my electricity bill. It only had 1 week of mining on it, so I didn't really get the full picture, but that 1 week didn't make the bill anything crazy. So the electricity costs aren't bad, and I'm gonna keep this running as long as the rig covers the electricity bill. Let's say I mine 10 Bitcoin over the next 3 years. The price of Bitcoin for those 3 years is 15,000, so I'm just about breaking even during those 3 years. But let's say on the 4th year, the price of Bitcoin jumps to 100,000. Well, then the 10 Bitcoin already mined is now worth a lot more. So the price of Bitcoin doesn't matter to me short term as long as I believe in it long term. Now, if that changes and I no longer believe in Bitcoin and I'm cashing out everything I mine, then those prices.
I want to rewind a little bit. I think he's just doing this for an example. It makes sense. But instead of saying I mine 10 Bitcoin, because there's no way he's going to mine 10 Bitcoin. He should have just said mining. And instead of putting 15K, because right now it's like 30K, he should at least put 30. But I see what he was trying to do. It's just an example.
Even Bitcoin and I'm cashing out everything I mine, then those price fluctuations would heavily affect me. So I'm not mining dollars. I'm mining a set amount of Bitcoin per day. I'm just using dollars to measure it. Hope that was a decent explanation, but that's my outlook and conviction behind continuing mining. And that said, let's set up this new absolute unit giga chad of a rig with all these 3090s and see how much it's going to be making.
You guys are getting paid?
Now that this was my second time doing it, the
Wait,
build
hold on.
process.
I'm going to rewind a little bit. I thought he was going to show how much he
Upload
spent
the video.
again. I think he spent like 1,700, right? So right here, he spent 17,261.34 for 6 GPUs. If I pull up a calculator. So I'm guessing he spent like 3,000 each. $2,880. Yeah, too much. He pretty much bought them scalp prices. So yeah, 2 year break even seems kind of correct, because that's ideally what you're looking at if you buy it at scalp prices.
Measure it. Hope that was a decent explanation, but that's my outlook and conviction behind continuing mining. And that said, let's set up this new absolute unit giga chad of a rig with all these 3090s and see how much it's going to be making.
You guys are getting paid?
Now that this was my second time doing it, the build process was pretty smooth and honestly very enjoyable. First up, you smack together the frame of the rig, then you screw the motherboard into place using a few special bolts. Onto the motherboard you place the CPU, and then on top of that you put a CPU fan to keep it cool. Then you pop in a couple RAM sticks. You could get away with one, but the pack I bought had 2. Up next is your SSD. You connect that to the motherboard as well as to your power block, and then you also have to connect the motherboard itself to the power block. I'm using 2 blocks because I need the extra power for these monster 3090s, so I used a splitter to connect both of them.
Then I start to taste them. I say,
Then you use risers to connect your GPUs to the motherboard, and then also plug that into the power
looking
block.
good so far.
Plug a Wi-Fi adapter in, keyboard, mouse, and you're pretty.
Oh no, sorry. Wanted to rewind because I saw this. This is kind of risky. Using SATA on 3090s. Hopefully the SATA cables don't burn. 3090s, I highly don't recommend using SATA just because it could burn. But he's using it directly from the power supply and not the adapter. So that's a little bit better than using the adapter. But still, I wouldn't recommend using SATA at all when it comes to 3090s. Now, if you have like a 1660 Super, 1070s, RX 580s, SATA is fine just because they're low power cards. And just make sure, ideally, you just want to use one SATA connector. But yeah, 3090s, don't use SATA.
Plug that into the power block, plug a Wi-Fi adapter in, keyboard, mouse, and you're pretty much set. Final step and moment of truth.
Another thing is you don't really want a Wi-Fi adapter. It's better to directly plug in your Ethernet cable, because with Wi-Fi, you're going to get stale shares and you don't want stale shares. Now, you don't need to have fast internet. You just need constant internet that doesn't go out.
You plug in the switch and try to power it on.
First try?
If that works, then you tweak the motherboard settings for mining, install Windows, which at this point you don't even need
Good
to
job,
pair it
at least
anymore.
it
I just
posts.
downloaded it directly off Bill's website onto a USB and installed it without a product key. Once you're in, you download some NVIDIA software to recognize the GPUs, and once I saw that everything was running smoothly, I then plugged in the rest of the 5 3090 graphic cards, updated Windows, reinstalled the NVIDIA software, and boom, all of them were recognized and were working. At this point, I downloaded MSI Afterburner to overcook the GPUs, make sure they're running efficiently and to their full potential, basically handed them some self-development books, and then I downloaded NiceHash, pressed play, and we were up and running.
Gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's unbelievable.
And that's the pretty and aesthetic version of how things went. There were a few steps where I had to troubleshoot and get a little jiggy with the wiring and whatnot, but that just gives you an idea of how the
Nice. He's using NiceHash. So he's earning that BTC. So I'm guessing he thinks he's mining Bitcoin, but really he's mining Ethereum more than likely, and then just getting paid in BTC. Well, he's selling his hash rates, but hopefully he knows he's not really mining Bitcoin, because I think he thinks he's actually like mining Bitcoin, but hopefully he knows he's not really mining Bitcoin, because you can't mine Bitcoin with GPUs. You need ASICs.
the build process is. And again, I'm mining through NiceHash, which is the simplest way to do it, but I'm not endorsing them by any means. There are a few concerns with that. First off, one of the founders, we'll call him M. Treasy for short, was convicted and served jail time for creating a massive, one of the largest malware viruses back in the day. And here I am downloading his program onto my computer and running it 24/7. A little sus. But hey, people do change, and ever since the man served his sentence, he hasn't really done anything foul with NiceHash that anyone knows of, so no reason not to trust the service. But
this guy needs to do more research. NiceHash has done a lot of things. They've been hacked. They lost funds. Yeah, so NiceHash also does slander. This guy needs to do more research. But then again, I should have known. He bought 3090s, so...
to be on the safe side, I am only going to use the computers I build up for mining, only for mining, and I won't be logging into anything on them. I'm also not going to let too much of the Bitcoin I mine sit on the website. I'll be regularly transferring it over to my wallets, mostly offline, to a ledger I'm going to set up specifically.
Nice, at least he knows about security, because I was going to say, definitely get it off the NiceHash wallet. Oh look, his private keys. Sauce, Lost, Mini Dog, Noble Finger, board, headphones, drive, car, mouse, pad, keyboards, cable, paper, tax, getting trolled by time you are. Funny guy. I was about to say, he probably lost all his money, because I was thinking, bro, he just did the biggest mistake of his life, but he got me.
Specifically for this, but also maybe some digital wallets to diversify, and I think that should pretty much completely solve that concern. But then the other issue is that NiceHash is not at all the most efficient way to mine. A lot of you guys were saying I could make a lot more if I switched over to other forms of mining, so I definitely want to do that. I had someone saying I can make 10 to 20% more, which is pretty significant. Switching over from NiceHash is definitely on my to-do list, and I'm probably also going to explore mining coins other than Bitcoin, which could boost profits even higher. A lot of you guys were saying I should mine Ethereum, but I think I'm going to mine something with somewhat more serious fundamentals, such as NiceHash or possibly Dogecoin. Now here we are in my boss's electric vehicle.
This guy's my idol. He said Dogecoin, let's go. Dogecoin to the moon. Let's go. And I think he said these nuts coins. What? Yo, 4%. These nuts coins to the moon. Let's go. Putting my life savings. $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Let's go. Anyway, let's keep going.
Coin or possibly Dogecoin. Now here we are in my boss's electric vehicle.
That was funny
to
though.
talk about electricity.
I'll give him that. That was definitely funny.
I'm no Greta Thunberg, but I do heavily rock with nature, so
we have to stop the emissions of greenhouse gases.
Getting some renewable energy to power these rigs and future rigs is something I definitely want to pursue. I'm not going to build a windmill in my backyard, and I'm not sure yet, but probably won't be developing a new dam on my street either, but installing some solar panels on the roof could be a great move. And on some strictly off-the-record talk, Keemstar, if you're watching this, look away, but I'm not just being a great guy and saving the earth. Truth be told, I really don't like using paper straws, and going solar would actually cut down my energy costs long term. After the panels are paid off, it's free electricity from the sun to power the rigs. Saving the earth and cutting energy costs, absolutely murdering two baby rabbits with one stone here. Greta, I'm sorry. Please don't click away. I need the watch time to buy the solar panels.
We'll be watching you.
Anyways, welcome to my underground lair, where I will actually be performing a 51% hack on Bitcoin, after which I'll give my subscribers $50 million worth of Bitcoin each. So
Damn, this guy went from a total noob to a total pro hacker. He's the Bitcoin bank hacker 51 attack master. This guy went from 0 to a million instantly. Dang, I gotta learn from this guy.
make sure you guys subscribe. But both rigs are currently running. It actually takes a lot of wattage to run these, so I normally would not be able to have them running in the same place like this. The power would give out. But I used to have a lab in here for manufacturing illegal substances and growing illegal substances in this layer, so I had special wall sockets installed all around to power all those lights and whatnot, and now I'm using those to power these rigs, so that worked out nicely.
Hold on.
No, I'm kidding. I had an electrician over to install a special wall socket to charge my boss's Tesla, and while he was here, I had him swing by the underground secret lair to install a socket that can handle all this extra power. So that's why those are able to run.
Smart guy. No matter what, if you don't know anything about electricity, just pay a professional. Don't waste your time learning it yourself, trying to do it. You're gonna hurt yourself. So just pay a professional. I get questions a lot about my electricity. I didn't do anything. I just paid a professional. So just pay someone. Don't hurt yourself. So be smart like this guy. But anyway.
Side by side like that. But now let's talk about numbers. This new rig cost me $18,737.
All right, now he goes over the numbers.
So I now have a total of around 34,000 invested into this whole mining operation. Currently, with all the GPUs installed and still mining through NiceHash, they're pulling in a little over $100 per day, and at this rate would pay themselves off in around 300 days. If the price of Bitcoin goes back to what it was a couple weeks ago, where just one less powerful rig was doing 140 per day pretty steadily, then two rigs, one of them way more powerful, and especially if I switch over from NiceHash to something more efficient, these two rigs could very realistically be pulling in like $300 per day, making this a six-figure per year operation.
6 figures.
Again, if the price goes up to that recent high. So currently, I'm just trying to be very respectful towards the pump.
Always, guys, respect the pump.
Really hope that the price does go up, and I'm also working on a sneaky partnership with an organization that may be able to provide me with mining equipment at retail prices, which would increase profits like crazy. If that works out, I'm going to continue building up this operation. But that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.
Nice. Let me rewind a little bit. He said 300 days break even. That's not great. 300 break even is not great, especially the time we're at right now. Because like I mentioned, in the bull market, you want to break even sooner. In the bear market, 300 break even is fine. 300 days break even is actually good. But you're buying the cars for like 50 bucks. You're buying the cars for cheap. But since he bought the cars for so expensive, you want to break even within a couple months, 3 or 4 months, especially with all the news coming out. But I feel like since he bought the RTX 3090, he has good cards. So those cards will still be good, even if mining isn't as profitable. Because the 3090, those are beast cards. So one other thing I do want to mention is I see you did use a portable AC unit. That does kill your electricity. It's definitely better to use like an exhaust fan and just move the air. So you can move the hot air of the room and then you'll be set. You don't have to spend money on a portable AC unit. So that's one other thing that you may want to do. Definitely get rid of the portable AC unit. If he doesn't have any windows or vents, then that may be his only choice. Because I've seen some rooms where there's only like one window. It's like rough to get all that air out through that tiny window. But anyway, I like this video. It was good to watch. It was fun. My 1 month Bitcoin mining journey. Well, anyway, Biaheza, hit me up. I got you. If you need any help, I'll help you out. You need to work on some of your rigs. Get rid of the SATA. Make sure you don't burn your cars down. Make sure you're checking your temps because the 3090s do get toasty. And he didn't actually share his hash rates. So I don't even know if you're getting good hash rates with good power draw. But if you need any help, hit me up. I got you. More than likely, you're not going to watch this, but good video. I like it. And good luck with your journey.